Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today I got another part for my 2023 Polaris Ranger 1000 XP. It's for the bed. It's actually a topper. It's a soft topper. And this thing is from KEMIMOTO. So they sent this thing out here for me to try out. I got it all laid out on the table here. It comes in this very small box. Surprising how small that box is, but yeah, this is it. So I just washed my Ranger up, getting ready to get this installed. So like I said, I've got it all laid out on the table here. You've got 4 brackets right here. These mount to the bed. You've got some bows, I guess you would call these bows. And you got different shapes. You got some T's. You got some curved ones. You got some shorter straight ones. You got a bag of hardware here, and also comes with instructions. There's the canvas. I haven't rolled it out yet. I'm going to wait until I build the frame. Then we'll get that. I don't want it falling, getting dirty on the floor or something. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to get this together and get it mounted on my Ranger there. Okay, so we're going to start assembling this. I've already got the center bowl together. Had a little trouble with one of these nuts lining up. So it's kind of, I guess that's kind of way with some of these, that's the way it is. But each of these bows has a number on them. And that's not going to focus, but there's a number on all of these. And the instructions tell you how to assemble these. Okay, so I think I got it figured out here. You take a 1, you got to assemble a 3 on here. I think they've got powder coat in those nuts. Then once you got a 3 on there, you assemble a 6. And again, these nuts are not you're going to need a wrench to get them in there because they ain't going to go in by hand. Put a 3 on there. So you got 2 on this side, number 1 on that side. So the instructions say not to tighten any of these up completely until later, I guess. Might be cross-threading some of those. It's hard to tell with the, like I said, I think they might have powder coating inside them. Okay, so I got my bows assembled. So it's going to look something like this. This will either be a front or a back hoop. I'm not sure yet. But I've got 2 of these, and then I've got 1 for the center. And I think I'm going to connect those. You connect this center one with the other 2 hoops with these number 4 bars, I believe. And it's going to be hard to actually show you that, so I'm just going to connect these bolts here. And I'll come back once I... Okay, so I'm having a little bit of trouble here getting these to go together. The nuts, sometimes the nuts are not lined up straight and it's getting cross-threaded, and I cross-threaded this one pretty bad and actually had to use a vice grip to get it out. I don't have any metric bolts. These are 6mm. I might have to go get some to finish this job. Yeah, I might have to re-tap this one. It's crooked. The nut is crooked in there, and I can't. It's not gonna go. It's not gonna go in straight. If I get a new bolt, it's just gonna go in the same way. So I got to figure out how to fix that, I guess. Okay, so I was actually finally able to get this bolt in. Hopefully they sent an extra bolt, or I might have to go get a new one. But actually I just put it in the vise and I crushed it a little bit so the nut underneath would bend straight. Hopefully you understand that. But actually, once I crushed it a little bit, it actually fits better than all the other ones. But yeah, we're going to keep on going here. Looks like I got 4 of those bolts. So it looks like they probably didn't send me an extra few bolts. So I'm probably going to have to run to the store. So now it looks like we're just... we're going to install the hoops like so. And at this point, I'm not sure it matters. Which side goes where? Because I think they're... Now that bolt went in really nice. It's just a few of these bolts, they're just not welded. Just not welded on there straight. You gotta make sure you got them. Kind of look down in there, make sure everything's lined up so you can get it on there. But here's where I'm gonna run into my problem with wrecking one of those bolts. Because now I got to go up here and install this onto here, and this is where I need that last bolt that I ruined. Alrighty, so we actually have some 6x25 bolts. I'm surprised. We usually don't have too many of the metric bolts on hand, but there we go. So I'm going to be able to, I think I'm going to be able to get this installed tonight. But there we go. That's the frame. I think now we'll go over to the Ranger. We'll get these mounting brackets installed. Okay, so we're at the Ranger now, and I've got to remove, there's some screws, or they must be bolts, not screws. No, they're screws. You remove these screws from the side, and you got the brackets right here. Now these, the longer ones, I believe, go in the back. So you set it down, and you just tighten this screw back up. They have the lock and ride deals, which I don't know, they got a place where you can use your lock and ride holes, and I think I might do that. Maybe I'll do the screws and the lock and ride holes just to see what happens. But anyway, you got 4 of those on each side if you're going to do the screws. I'm going to grab my lock and ride plugs. Okay, so I got the 2 on the driver's side installed, and I'm going to install these 2 on the passenger side. I got my lock and ride plugs. For those that haven't seen these, you latch them down like so, and they tighten up. Highly recommend using both the screw in here and the lock and ride. I think it's going to give you a much stronger mount here. Don't go crazy on them bolts because it looks like it's just going into plastic. Then you tighten down this mount here. Like so. Usually got to crank these down pretty good. And that feels pretty good. They got holes up here that they have for screws. I really don't want to do that. I mean, if you're going to do this permanent, you can do that. And I guess if I was going to do it permanent, I would do it. I'm gonna run this topper for a little bit before I decide what I'm actually gonna run on this. I may end up really loving this topper, and I might want to keep it. So then I might throw them screws in there. But we'll see here. Like I said, those are pretty darn sturdy. Well, that's the bows here, but I got none of these bolts tight. So I gotta go through and tighten them all up. Okay, so I got my 4 bolts. These are longer, so make sure you find those longer bolts. and save them for the bottom. Some of those nuts line right up and go on perfect. And some of them are just so far out of whack. That's why I'm holding off on tightening any of these until I get all of them in there. Okay, so I've got them all started. I'm going to go through and tighten all these. So I got all the bolts tight. I believe we're ready for a canvas. Okay, so I got the canvas here. Going to get it unrolled here. It's got these soft thingies to protect all the windows so they don't get scratched during shipping. This could get interesting with one person here. But you're looking for, I'm looking for the KEMIMOTO badge, which tells you what's the back. Here it is. So like I said, this is going to get interesting. With one person here. See if we can't make this work with just me. I believe this is the back. It's got the KEMIMOTO deal where it seemed to be caught on something. Almost looks to be too small, but we'll see here. I think we got to get her latched down. I think, let me look at the instructions. Okay, so here are some Velcro straps that are going to be used to hold this on, and there's looks like there's 4 on each side. I think he's got to be inside the bolt, I believe. It says to zip up this side and then go to the other side and do the same thing. Okay, so I got both sides Velcroed on each side. Got everything zipped up. Now I'm at the front here. You got these hooks. Hooking them on to, there's some holes here. And then just pulling it tight. The 2 outside ones are really nice. This inside one, all it's got is the front bed to hook onto. So it's not pulling quite as nice. But I think we'll get it to work here. I'm gonna close my bed now. Okay, so now, kind of like a covered wagon. Anybody that's had a soft topper knows how to tighten this stuff up. You got to tighten her all up. To get all the wrinkles out. Otherwise it's kind of a wrinkly mess. You just take your hooks and you hook it on the hook it on the bed there. I'm going to be testing this thing going down the road and stuff, so we'll see how she does. That looks pretty good. Now you go to the sides and do the same exact thing. You want to pull that tight. Actually, what I think I'm going to do, because I don't have that side tight, I think I'm going to just snug this. I'm going to go do the other side, snug that, and then we'll come back. Because I don't want to pull it all the way over this way. You know, putting the frame together, I was getting a little worried on how this was going to work, but it's actually looking pretty darn good. Okay guys, so what's really nice about this topper is you can roll these sides up, and I'll demonstrate that in just a second. You can roll the sides up, you can roll the back up, actually you can roll the front up. I'm not sure there's enough room to roll that up, but you can roll it up. But there's a lot of different options with this thing. So you can really do whatever you want with it, or adjust it however you want with what you're doing. I got my Velcro strap right here holding it because I think I had the back open. There's actually a couple of straps here. You got to install those depending on what you want rolled up. But yeah, once you get it loose here, you got to roll it up, and you want to roll this fairly tight. You don't want to roll this up real loose. You want to get her nice and tight. Nice tight little roll here. And then you roll it up here. Now, make sure, these are the straps that are going to hold it up there. Make sure these straps are on the outside of the bar. If they're on the inside of the bar, you're not going to have enough room to loop this around this thing right here. Get it in there. You ain't going to have the room to loop that around and catch the Velcro if it's caught on the inside. I probably should have looped that, or I should have rolled that a little tighter than that. But you get the gist there. Really neat that you can roll the sides up. Give you a covered top and open sides. So yeah, really neat. Really versatile top. And then that quickly you got your side down. So really neat. Okay, so I'm out and about with the topper, and you can see that visibility with this topper is excellent. There's really no blind spots with it whatsoever. I can see everything that I could without it. So yeah, visibility is excellent with this topper.